Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. South Africa's Chamber of Mines expects empirical research into mine nationalisation experience to be completed at the end of next month. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer is in the studio to tell us more about this. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
Firstly, why is the research being conducted? Who is involved and where is it focused?
You know, it's really regional research. The region taking in several chambers of mining in Botswana and Zambia, and it will also be the DRC soon. They are concerned about the contagion effect, that if South Africa says, well, you know, nationalisation of the mines is right, there might be youthful elements in their country also thinking, well, let's go back to this. And Zambia has been through the pain, as they've said. So, you know, there is an association of chambers, and it was actually this association that has prompted this research, saying we don't want this in Africa again, we don't want it in Southern Africa again. Let's really present a very strong case why this shouldn't happen, because the experiences that we've had from mine nationalisation, you know, are so severe. It even reduces life expectancy, because, you know, as you reduce the wealth, you know, you have earlier deaths of your people whom you've educated. That has a massive impact on your economy. So they're saying, particularly Zambia, you know, lamenting, we don't want to go through this again. So let's really do a study once and for all to convince everybody in Africa that this is not the way to go, and let's do it well.
Now, to whom will the outcome of this research be presented?
You know, the association is called MIASA. It's the Mining Industry Associations of Southern Africa, and it really affects its employer bodies who get together and try and present a better face for mining and integrate the activities within the region. And they are welcoming the Democratic Republic of Congo into their fold, and they'll do that in Lubumbashi the end of September. And although the actual study will be completed pretty imminently, they're probably going to hold it for presentation till the end of September. Although, with the urgency of the strident calls, perhaps they'll come out sooner and explain and give the full details of the study.
Now, Chamber Senior Executive Roger Baxter has outlined significant benefits of the South African mining industry to the South African economy. Can you elaborate? Yeah,
you know, I mean, the benefit is so huge that we are actually born and bred in the minerals energy complex, as we call it. And here we are sitting in Ekurhuleni. You know, the whole of Ekurhuleni is really directed to being a supplier park for the mining industry, really. That's how valuable this industry is. And it's not like other countries, you know, Canada and Australia. We really add a lot of value here. We also beneficiate, we add value to the metals and minerals, but there's also, you know, side stream activities that are actually exportable as well. So he estimates that, you know, of the expenditure of the mining industry last year, which was 440 billion rand, you know, 92% of it came into South Africa itself. You know, only a very small percentage has left the country in dividends and things like that. So really, you know, the strident call for mine nationalisation doesn't have an economic rationale. It seems to have a political rationale, and that's becoming more and more evident. That, you know, the African National Congress's Youth League, their documentation is politically orientated, and I think we need to elevate this towards an economic debate, so that people really understand the massive benefit to South Africa of the mining industry as it is. And, you know, we've had this equity model that people invest through the stock exchange. You know, that has worked well for more than 100 years. If you suddenly change that, you're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, really, and you're going to have to start from scratch again, which this country can't afford.
I suppose it would also be important to put the economic viability of it in a language people can understand.
You need to put it in a language that people can understand, and, well, you need to put it in a language that, you know, Julius Malema's support base can understand. It's no good speaking above their heads. You know, I mean, he is alleging that the mining industry stole the metals and mineral resources of the country. We need to explain very simply to those people how this is the furthest thing from the truth. You know, that the value that these mines have brought is enormous. You know, and if you look anywhere else in the world, you can go to San Francisco. Why is San Francisco the city it is? Because it's built on gold. You know, why is Gauteng the province it is? It is the main engine of economic activity in the whole of Africa. Why is that? Because it's built on gold, and we've now got another opportunity with building on platinum. You know, that platinum can give us another golden age, as it were, if we do this correctly. And the thing is to do it well. And the debate should be, how best can we extract more for all the people of South Africa out of these wonderful treasure chests that we have here, not trying to rip the heart out of the industry by nationalising.
Now, going back to that debate that you mentioned, Baxter also suggests that it should be directed more towards the contribution that mining has had. What does he suggest? Yeah,
well, I think that we need to redirect this whole debate. You know, it needs to be redirected towards the very significant, tangible, demonstrable benefits that every single South African has had here. We all living on the, you know, first the diamonds set off everything in Kimberley. Those diamonds, the revenue from those diamonds then became the capital to start the gold mining industry here. The gold mining industry required water because it wasn't, you know, Johannesburg is not on a river. It's one of the only big cities that aren't on a big river. So they had to actually defy gravity. They had to defy gravity by pumping water from the Vaal against gravity up to Johannesburg here, which was from 1902. I mean, that's no mean feat. You know, the volumes of water come through, the quality of that water, that quality is better than Perrier. You know, it's better than this bottled water that you get. We've had tremendously high standards here. And it's all been around gold mining and other mining activities that came from that. The universities, you know, that university would not be there if there wasn't this gold mining. The railways, the roads, the side stream activities, you know, where you suddenly you get petrol stations, you get cafes, you get hotels. I mean, it's just endless. And as I say, you know, there are other cities in the world that have also had that benefit. And if anybody goes to San Francisco, I haven't been there, but, you know, they tell me it's a fantastic city. It's the same. It's been built on gold. Johannesburg, we want it to be a world-class city. It was. It has the potential to have a rebirth. And if we all put our heads together here, we can turn this complaint against the mining industry into something that will really benefit South Africa. You know, we had a CODESA. We had the whole political angst was dealt with in the mid-90s, and it eventuated in a new constitution of South Africa through this CODESA process. Probably our constitution is the best in the world, you know. Now, I'm sure that the opportunity can now be taken to have an economic CODESA, where we emerge from this with the best economic policies in the world. You know, that's our challenge. And South Africans are known for that sort of thing. You know, they go to the brink, and then they put their heads together and they come out with something really good. And we hope that this actually is the catalyst. This very strident call for mine nationalisation can be the catalyst, you know, which gets all this unemployment out the way, particularly 50%, you know, unemployment among, or more than 50% youth between the ages of 18 and 25. You can't keep them out there unemployed. So there are real issues. There are real time bombs. And, you know, maybe this is just the time to sit down, and with all the brains in South Africa, we can work out the world's best way of harnessing your economy to make sure that every South African is employed and has got a good horizon ahead of them.
Well, let's hope they let the report out sooner than September.
I hope so too.
Thank you very much, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Shannon.
That's the show for today. Join us again next time for more news and insight into what's happening in the mining world.